Okay, so we are gonna given a list of intervals, and then we are gonna find the overlapping intervals, and we're gonna return that overlapping interval. Okay, so I'm gonna define a function here, merge intervals here, and its argument is intervals. This intervals is a list of interval. So it looks like, for example, one, two. So this is one of the interval starting from one and to ending at, for example, like four. And then next interval is to starting from two to five. And then next interval, it's gonna be like, for example, like six and eight. And then the last interval is like I think it's like 7 to 10, for example. And we have this interval. So this is a list of list. And in this example, we have this first interval one from one to four, and then next interval from two to five. And obviously they are overlapping because the first interval ends at four and the second interval start from two. So they are overlapping. And then we want to merge these two intervals. And likewise, but on the other hand, this third interval starts from six, but the second interval ends at five. So they are not overlapping. They're not overlapping. And the last one starts from seven, but the previous interval ends at eight. So they're overlapping. So we want to merge. We want to merge these two intervals into a larger interval. Okay. So first of all, what we want to do is that first of all, we want to save the first value, the first values of the first interval. So head is the first interval's head. So in this case, one, and the tail is the first interval's tail. So in this case, four. So intervals index zero of index zero is head, and the tail intervals index zero and of index one. Okay, so this is initialization, and we're gonna return a list of lists. So answer is gonna be a empty list, and we are gonna append the merged interval into this answer, this empty list answer. Okay, so this is the initialization. Okay, so we iterate from the second interval, right? Because we already know we already saved the first interval, head and tail. And then we're gonna um we're gonna see the head of the second interval, in this case two, and the two is smaller than the tail of the first interval. So that means they are overlapping. So this if block means enable index I of index zero. So I mean the next enable's head is smaller or equal to the previous tail. So that means they are overlapping. Okay. So in this case, we wanna update. In this case, we wanna update the tail. Tail is whichever is larger between original tail or the second tail. So in this case, four or five, and the five is larger. So in this case, the next tail, the updated tail will be five. Okay. So in this case, it's gonna be head, it's gonna be like, tail is one, sorry, head is one, and the tail is five. So we succeeded in merge to these two intervals. Okay, so next case, we have interval 6 from 6 to 8. And then unfortunately, this interval doesn't overlap with a merged interval, which ends at 5. So this case will go to this else block, right? Because 6 is larger than 5. Okay, so in this case, okay, so in this case, okay, so anyway, we're gonna append this answer into this merged interval into this answer empty list. So okay, anyway, answer dot append head and tail, and then we're gonna start the new one. Okay, so new one is gonna be the head. It's going to be like head is 6 and the tail is 8, and then we're gonna continue the same thing until the end. Okay, so when are we gonna append the list? Append the merged list. It is when we find out that the next interval doesn't overlap with the current interval. So in this case, we append this answer, and if they are overlapping, we're gonna merge, and then we're gonna update the current interval. Okay, so we return the answer. This answer is a list of lists. So this is my answer. Thank you.